Hey guys, happy Monday. I am going to be baking low and slow some ribs. I have a rack of ribs cut in half right here. And for the seasoning that I'm going to put on them, I am using the McCormick garlic, onion, black pepper, and sea salt. That's one of them. Then I'm going in with Dax BBQ Queen by Dax Spices. And then I'm also doing garlic because I love garlic. So basically I am only going to use this. I put all of it into here and I'm going to be using it as a rub. So I'm just basically going to rub it on all over. I have 2 sheet pans that are lined right here, and I'm cooking this at 225 for 4 hours, and the plan is to do 4 hours at 225 and then put on a little bit of barbecue sauce, a sugar-free barbecue sauce that I have, and I'm going to put that on and then crank up the temperature to about 450, only for about 20 minutes. And then I'm hoping to get a little bit of a crispy outside to these ribs. And it's really, truth be told, this is my first time making ribs. I've made them before in a crock pot and they have not come out the way that I wanted them to. So I've been studying some people online to see what they do, and hopefully this comes out. I'm planning on doing this for 2.5 hours, flipping it, putting on some more rub, putting it in for the last 2 hours, and then going ahead and putting up the temperature to include a little bit of sauce on top. I'll be back and I'll let you guys know how it's going. Okay guys, so I am actually going to show you how I usually make my cod fillet. This is from Trader Joe's. I heat up my cast iron skillet with some avocado oil, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, just to coat the bottom, like a very thin coating. And then I have a plate of mayo, and I have my fish. I also have a paper towel that I'm going to dry the fish with. It's easier to prepare in the cast iron skillet when it's dry, as well as when it's dry enough to put on the mayo, so it's just not leaking everywhere in the cast iron skillet. So basically I'm going to wait until this gets really, really hot, and in the meantime I'm just going to be putting some mayo right on each side of the fish. Now the spices that I've chosen to use for the cod are Trader Joe's chili lime seasoning and adobo. I love adobo. It just, to me, has the right blend of ingredients with the garlic. So I'm actually going to do both sides with the seasoning as well as with the mayo. So I'm going to just spread this out right on top of here, and you see the other one getting liberally coated. Now another way I like to make it too is I will go ahead and make some breadcrumbs out of pork rinds and Parmesan cheese. I'm not going to do that this go around because I just wanted to have it without the breading on top. So again, I'm just going to go in with the adobo and the chili lime seasoning. And this just gives it, you know, lime is a really good, lemon and lime, citrusy, is just really good when you are pairing it with fish. So I am going to cook this up, and when it's done, I will show you guys how it looks. And it's that simple. All right guys, so it has been in here now for about 2 hours, the ribs. You can tell it's still definitely not cooked at all, but I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over so that way I can put the rub on the other side. And then this will cook for another 2 hours. But that's basically what it looks like halfway done, and I'll be back to show you the finished product. How the cod will sound and look as it's cooking away. This is great. It's going to be so good. Cod does not take a long time to cook at all. You do not want to overcook any kind of fish, especially a white fish. But this is going to come out delicious. So this is how the cod came out. It's been sitting here cooling off, and it is very moist and delicious. The flavor is right on point. All right, guys, so I just took the ribs out of the oven. It's been about 4.5 hours. I'm gonna now top this with a homemade barbecue sauce. It's gonna sound really funny, but I had run out of my sugar-free sauce, but this one tastes really good. It's actually Taco Bell mild taco sauce with erythritol, powdered erythritol. I also put a little bit of dried tomato paste, and then I put some of the chili lime spice. I put a little bit of garlic and a little bit of paprika for the smokiness. And to my surprise, it came out very, very good. So I am going to drizzle this on here, and then I'm going to put it back into the oven for only a half an hour more. And then we should have some really tasty ribs. I'm going to be very liberal with it. And I'm going to do this one too. And then as soon as that half hour is up, I'm going to cut these ribs apart and then let you guys know how they came out for my first time ever making ribs in the oven. And I've never made a good rib. I really don't know what the secret is, but I'm going to try this recipe of cooking it low and slow in the oven and see how that comes out. And I will be back to let you guys know the verdict. All right, guys, so this is how the ribs came out. We did cut into it. We did try it. It's not my favorite, but I think I don't know. I think I just don't like pork. I don't know. My husband liked it. He'll be eating both pieces at some point, probably as part of his meal prep. It didn't come out bad, but it's not my fave. So that's probably it for me with pork ribs. Hey guys, so this is going to be my last recipe in this video, and I'm going to be using some onion, purple onion that is diced up, and I took 4 links of spinach feta chicken sausage that I had. I'm going to end up mixing the sausage in a bowl with the onions. I'm going to use about 3 quarters of the onions that I have here, so it's in here. And then to this, I'm actually going to add, let me see what the container is, how many, 4 ounces of plain goat cheese. It's chèvre, I think you call it. But I'm basically just going to put that in here, and I'm going to stir this on up. I'm just using my knife since it's right here because it's so creamy, this goat cheese. So I'm just stirring it up, just coating each and every one of the sausages. Having the onions in there. And so basically this is going to be a sheet meal, which is going to be extremely easy. So after I've put that in there and mixed it up, I'm basically just going to put this all on my baking sheet that I have lined with tin foil. And my oven is set on 325. So I have that set on 325. Just gonna mix this all up, make sure that all of the onions are coating the sausages. Fun fact, I used to not like onions at all. Now I love them. I'm going to put on this side just some asparagus. And basically the way that you prep asparagus is wherever it snaps itself is where it is going to be the stem versus the bottom part, like the hard stem. So instead of just cutting them all, because each one will have a different bend to it, a different snap, and instead of just cutting them all at once and ending up having some really, really tough pieces of asparagus, you're going to let them snap themselves. Hold it at the end, wherever it snaps, that's where it's meant to snap. So you don't cut them. I used to cut them. I used to cut them straight across. They were all the same thing. But I learned that there is a break in these, and they'll break where they want to, one by one. Some will have long, some will be short. It's wherever they break from. See how long that one was? That's because the break was longer than the one prior. And that's it. It's just a little fun fact. I'm just going to put these on here, just like so. And I'm gonna top these with some avocado oil and some seasoning. And then I'm going to bake this at 325. I do want to note though that my sausages are already fully cooked. They were already fully cooked sausages, and so there's not really much for me to do with them. To have to try to cook them is, you know, just kind of marrying together with the flavors. So I'm going to use this avocado oil, which I love. I get it from Amazon, and I'm just gonna lightly put some on the asparagus. And then I'm gonna go in with some of my garlic, onion, black pepper, and sea salt spice that I bought a couple of days ago, and I'm really enjoying it. And then I'm going to put some garlic, and I'm actually going to put garlic on with the goat cheese as well as with the asparagus. And I am going to basically do this at 325 for about 25 minutes, and then I'll be back to let you guys know how it comes out. All right, guys, this is how the dish came out. I did end up putting some onions on top of this asparagus right before sticking it in. But this smells and looks exceptional. So I am going to put this in a dish. I'm gonna have some asparagus on the side, and it's just so easy. This could also go onto into a bowl. You can top it with some shredded cheese. You can make it, if you were making it for someone who didn't have weight loss surgery or could have carbs, you could add rice to this. That would be so incredibly good. You could also do this with shrimp. You can do this with chicken. You can do this with regular sausage, you know, pork sausage. So versatile, and guys, it is so delicious. Thanks for joining me, you guys, making these great recipes. I really enjoy it. Thanks again.